Hi guys, good evening and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video I will be doing my episode review for the latest and possibly the scariest episode of the anthology series Into the Dark. They dropped their latest episode last Friday, and that was themed to Father's Day, of course, which is coming up this Sunday. And I finally just watched the episode, and it was creepy. Ooh, so creepy. Possibly the creepiest, if not the scariest episode of the whole season so far. Now, before I go into all of that, please, of course, be warned that this is a spoiler-filled episode review. Again, if you're not caught up on this episode, do not keep watching or listening, as I will be discussing plot points, character details, and all that jazz. Okay, spoilers starting from here on out, starting now. This was creepy. Ooh, so creepy. It had so many creepy vibes to it, and so many great little jump scare moments too. And like the demonic kids wearing the hoodies thing was just super creepy. You know, when we first saw their face, I thought, oh, that's a terrifying mask they're wearing. Oh, nope, that's its real face. Oh, that's scary. Like, will you play with me? Creepy kids in horror movies, man. They always do the trick. They always get the job done with scariness. You know, I got a very strong vibe or a tone. It was very reminiscent of the classic horror film The Hills Have Eyes. A family goes on a vacation, and then they end up trapped by like a sadistic clan of mutants or something like that, and several of them die or they're horribly ravaged. And I got some reminiscent feelings of that in this episode. It was very reminiscent of the original The Hills Have Eyes from Wes Craven, the late, great Wes Craven. And then it was also reminiscent of Pet Sematary, like how the older girl was plagued with visions of her cancer-stricken mother, and she was looking all creepy and whatnot. It was obviously just, visions or flashbacks she was having. Her dead mother wasn't actually there. It was those demonic creatures, whatever they were, that was like they were putting that memory in her mind. But this was a scary, exciting episode. I mean, it was definitely creepy. So damn creepy, with like the creepy kids trapping them in their trailer, and then like their voices and their childish laughter and giggling. I mean, it was great, but so creepy. So damn creepy. But no, overall, I really enjoyed it. This was probably one of their better episodes. Definitely one of their scarier ones. And I got to give them props. They stuck to they stuck to giving us a horror-filled episode where it wasn't necessarily filled with suspense or mystery or a plot twist like some of the other episodes have been. And this one gave us something that I've been waiting to see for a while, which is something including a supernatural element. In this case, it's including these demonic, childlike demons that had basically trapped people in different RVs or motorhomes whenever they go out to the desert for vacation or whatever, and then they end up starving them out or they end up killing them. And they don't really explain why these things are the way they are and why they're doing this to this particular family. And then I thought at first maybe the wine would like melt them or like disintegrate them or something, but it was like, oh, that's where Mother's ashes were. Okay, that's where they are. And then they all vanish and disappear that way. It's like, okay, so were they somehow attached to the deceased mother's memory, or like a trace memory or something? Like, was the moral of the story here to let someone go when they die or something like that? I mean, and I thought it was a little odd that they emphasized so much on the mother, since this was a Father's Day episode. Although they did emphasize on the dad a lot. Like he tried to protect his girls, and he fought for them when necessary. And he fought his own inner demons or like memories or flashbacks of his wife and whatnot. So they didn't really explain the origin or the backstory of the creepy kid creature things, but you know what? They kind of didn't need to, because the point is that they were creepy, they were scary, they made this episode very entertaining, they proved to be good villains for our characters, and for once, all three characters for the most part were fairly likable, decent people with good moral compasses, and there's people we could actually relate to or at least remotely like. Because I think I've said this in the past couple episodes, our leading characters are usually morally ambiguous or they're just unlikable, period. This episode, the characters were finally likable. So that was a huge plus. And then it contained, it involved like monsters essentially. You know, I'm a big fan of monsters. It involved these supernatural entities, which was enjoyable. And overall, it was a very good episode and probably the creepiest, if not the scariest episode of Into the Dark so far. And I really enjoyed it, as I hope you guys did too. So, what did you think of this Father's Day episode of Into the Dark? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Were you expecting more, expecting less? I want to hear your thoughts and opinions and your feedback down below in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Into the Dark premieres new episodes the first Friday of every month on Hulu. Have a great rest of your night. Thanks again for watching. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.